What is software development lifecycle? What are all the different stages that we are going to have whenever we are going to develop any software? And then later, what are all the different SDLC models available? And what model currently everyone is using? And what are all the different features of each and every model? That is what we are going to start with. Now, first we'll see the theoretical part. Later, what we are going to do is, we are going to use different tools like Jira tool and then Confluence, and we'll try to implement whatever we are going to learn during these theory sessions. Okay, this is how the whole thing is going to happen, guys. First, we are going to talk about little bit theory to understand the concepts. Later, practically, we'll try to implement the same. Just similar to real-time project, we are also going to set up one project, and we are going to use all the tools and other stuff, and then we are going to proceed with this project. Got it? Hope everyone is ready with your laptops, right? Everyone. Anyone is not ready or still attending from mobile?
Ready, sir.
Okay, good. Mostly tomorrow we'll try to set up Jira and Confluence. Okay, be ready.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'll mute everyone. I'll unmute after the session. So if you have any questions, so please do carry a pen and paper. If you have any questions in middle, so please note it down. So end of the session, by 10:30 every day, we are going to have QA sessions, right? You can ask whatever the question you have so that we can spend good amount of time on discussing new topic. At the same time, good amount of time we are going to spend on question and answers at the end of the session. Hope that is clear to everyone. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So let's see what is software development lifecycle here and why we need to know about software development lifecycle. First question before we are going to talk about SDLC. Why do I know about software development lifecycle? Because I'm not going to apply for the software developer job. Why should I know whole software development process here? It's because software testing also one of the part within the SDLC. Got it? Software testing also one of the phase that we are going to perform within the SDLC. That's the reason we should know about SDLC so that you can understand what are all the different activities are going to happen before software testing in the industry and what are all the different activities going to happen even after the testing activity. So just to understand that, we should know about software development lifecycle. That's the reason we are going to start with this. Basically, software development lifecycle is nothing but it's a systematic approach to develop any software. Let's say if you are going to get the day before yesterday, I told you the example of e-commerce application. Currently, I'm running offline grocery store, but no one is ready to purchase the groceries from the offline store. Everyone is looking for online shopping application. That's the reason what exactly I'm going to do. I'm going to reach one of the software organization and then I'm going to request them to create one of the online shopping application. So once I'm going to give this project to these people, so what are all the different stages generally we are going to have to develop any software? All those steps together, we are going to call it as software development lifecycle. Got it, guys? Software development lifecycle is nothing but the systematic approach, meaning the step-by-step process that we are going to follow to develop any software application. That is what we are going to call it as SDLC. Why we are going to call it as systematic approach? Meaning there is a standard procedure that always we are going to follow whenever we want to develop any application here. Then only it is possible for us to complete the project on time without any slippages. Otherwise, we are going to face so many difficulties in future if we are not at all going to follow standard procedure. There are multiple reasons why we need to follow certain standard procedures whenever we are going to develop this particular software. If you are not going to set the standard procedure, what will happen? Each and every person and later point of time we are going to end up with the conflicts, right? That's the reason each and every company, they are going to maintain standard rules basically. And we need to follow all these standard rules and steps so that everyone will be on the same page and everyone's goal should be same, so that it will be very easy for us to complete and to achieve whatever the goal we have in terms of project, in terms of maintenance, in terms of like in any fixes. Everyone should have same common goal. So that is what the whole point of maintaining standard procedures within the software development process. That's the reason we are going to call it as SDLC is a systematic procedure. To be followed during the development process. Whenever you want to develop any software application, there are multiple stages we are going to have, mainly 6 important phases. Those phases are requirement gathering phase, so after that, requirement analysis phase, then design phase. All these things they are going to ask you in the interview. Whenever you are going to attend the manual testing interview, what exactly the process you guys are going to follow in your project? What are all the different stages, you guys are going to have during the development process? This is what is going to happen. First, we are going to have requirement gathering phase, then requirement analysis, then design phase, then development phase, then very important thing, at least for us, that is testing phase, and the last one is deployment and maintenance. These are the 6 important phases that we are going to have in any software development life cycle. The software development life cycle is common for any organization. Each and every organization is going to follow the same procedure. Compulsory, they have to maintain all these 6 different stages during the development process. Otherwise, definitely it is not possible to develop the software application. Definitely they are going to end up with some complications if they are going to miss any one of the phase here. Let's try to understand what is the purpose of each and every phase, and what are all the people who are all the people are going to involve in each and every phase, and what activity they are going to complete in each and every stage of software development lifecycle. This is what you have to understand to know about regular project structure that we are going to follow in the company. So first phase is requirement gathering phase. What is the meaning of requirement gathering? First of all, what is the meaning of requirement here? Requirement meaning client expectation, basically. Now, client is Bharat. Bharat is currently running offline grocery store. He used to sell groceries. Now he want to build online shopping application so that Bharat can accept orders through this online shopping application, and then he can send the products directly to customer's house. So that is what the Bharat expectation here. So that is what we are going to call it as requirement. Now Bharat is going to explain with his knowledge, because Bharat is a client. He don't have any programming knowledge, but he know what exactly needs to be there there or needs to be developed within the application. I want one application like Amazon application. I want to sell this kind of products, and then I want to accept these payment options. All those things, Bharat no. With whatever the details this guy know as a client, he is going to provide all those details so that there are people within our organization, they are going to note it down each and every detail. So that is what we are going to call it as requirement here. Got it? Now, requirement gathering meaning collecting the requirements, basically. Collecting the requirements from our client. That is what this whole phase is all about. Collect the requirements from our client. How exactly this is going to happen? Whenever any client is going to reach out our company, our software organization, what we are going to do is we are going to set up the meeting with the client. This is the first stage that we are going to follow. First phase that we are going to follow during the software development process. First, we are going to set up the meeting with our client, and then we are going to send different people from our organization to this meeting. This meeting may happen face to face. Sometimes this meeting may happen virtually. Sometimes simple phone call also going to happen. Based on the client interest, we are going to set up the meeting in different ways. Face to face or virtual meeting or phone call. And then we are going to send different people basically from our organization so that they will be able to collect the requirements. So who are all the people we are going to involve in this requirement gathering? Mainly three important roles we are going to involve here. The first role that we are going to involve here is project manager. Project manager is nothing but the person who is going to take the ownership of entire project. Now, what are all the tasks that we are going to complete and how many people required to develop this particular application, test this particular application, how much budget is required, and what are all the different timelines that we need to follow, when to complete, when to start. He's going to take care everything as a owner of this particular entire project. Because let's take my company, if I'm working in Cognizant. Within the Cognizant, there are so many projects, so many clients are going to reach out this Cognizant on daily basis for different projects. Definitely, as a CEO, one person, it is not possible to take care of each and every client. That's the reason for each and every client, one specific person we are going to assign from the organization side. That person can take the complete ownership, starting from gathering the requirements to till the deployment. Everything this guy is going to take care. Understood, guys? So that is what the overall activity done by project manager here. So he is the person, this guy is going to involve in the first stage. Along with project manager, we are also going to involve one more important person here. Business analyst. Who is the person business analyst? What exactly this role is all about? Business analyst is the person who is going to actually interact with our client on regular basis. Because not able to all the requirements day one itself. What do you say, guys? Is it possible to collect everything within 1 hour about entire application? Definitely no. That's the reason. And moreover, every time if project manager want to interact with client, that is also very difficult, because project manager work is not only collecting the requirement. Project manager should recruit the employees to complete this particular project. Project manager should take care of whole budget related stuff, timeline related stuff, and project manager should be able to take care of the entire tools and technologies required to complete this particular project. And project manager should be able to report each and every small thing to higher officials. There are so many things these guys are going to do. That's the reason they may not be able to interact every time with our clients. That's the reason project manager is going to appoint business analyst, especially to interact with our clients on regular basis. So now business analyst is going to be the point of contact always to our client on daily basis. Whatever the requirement they want to implement within the application, client is going to explain to business analyst. Business analyst is going to prepare the requirement document. Every company, they are going to maintain one template, standard template. I have shown you in the first session, right? There are some standard templates, Word documents. Nowadays, no one is following Word documents also. Directly, they are using Confluence. Basically, whatever client is explaining on daily, analyst is going to note it down each and every small thing within the document. And this document only, we are going to call it as requirement document. Why they are going to prepare the requirement document? It's going to be a common agreement between our client and organization. I mean, our organization and our client, basically. Because orally, I can tell you so many things. Even before joining this session, I have explained so many things to you guys. I'm going to cover Selenium. I'm going to cover performance testing. I'm going to cover API testing, all those things. But practically, how many things I'm going to do? Whether I'm going to complete all those topics or not. How do you verify, guys? Definitely, you are going to maintain that course content document with you, and always you are going to compare, correct? End of the day, what do you say? Same thing. When it comes to requirement document also. Orally, if client is going to tell so many things, later point of time, if business analyst is going to forget something, again, it is very difficult. Same thing. If client is going to tell us so many things earlier, but later point of time, he is telling that is not what I told you. I mean, I told different thing. I mean, I have explained different thing, but you have wrongly understood. These kind of things will happen anytime. That's the reason we are always going to maintain this requirement document as a common agreement between us so that we can follow the same throughout the project. So business analyst is the person who is going to be act as a point of contact to interact with our client on regular basis. If client want to communicate with our project team members, they are going to talk to business analyst, and business analyst is going to inform us. Same thing. From our side, if you have any doubt on requirement, so you can contact business analyst. So business analyst can interact with our client and they are going to get the details. So that is the overall role. Business analyst, basically. And then the last role that we are going to involve in this requirement gathering phase is senior architect. Senior architect meaning senior developer, basically, who is having 15-20 years of experience in software development process. The person who is having programming knowledge. The person who is having already completed multiple projects in the same area. Those people, generally going to act like a senior architects or system architects, basically. Why do we involve, architect during the requirement gathering? Project manager, because he is the owner. Business analyst is going to be point of contact between our developers and testers and our client. In between, we are going to maintain one point of contact, BA. But what is the need of senior developer while collecting the requirements? You know why? Out of these people, client, project manager, business analyst, sometimes they may have some technical knowledge on how to develop things in terms of software application. Sometimes they may not have any technical knowledge. They know the business, basically, what application we have to create, what features we need to include within the application, everything they know, but they don't know, maybe they don't know that how to implement or how to write the code for that. Because of this, what will happen is sometimes whatever client is expecting within the application or within the timeline, that may not be possible with whatever the technologies currently we are having in the market. Who is going to tell that confidently, this is possible, this is not possible? With the latest, Python language, this is possible and this is not possible. With, if I are going to use Java, this is possible, this is not possible. Who is going to explain here? We need some technical person, correct? As a client, I can expect so many things. I'm going to give you 3 months and I will ask you like, I need Amazon kind of application. I need Flipkart kind of application. I need Big Basket kind of application. And, I need it within, 2 months. Like this, as a client, I can expect so many things. But practically, whether it is possible or not, who can confirm that? We need some technical person, right? That's the reason during the requirement gathering, we are going to involve the senior architects also. So whenever client is expecting something, whether it is really possible to develop, whether it is really possible to take it from our organization side, they are going to tell us. So that's the reason we are going to involve project manager, business analyst, and senior architect also during the initial discussions while collecting the requirement document. The final outcome that we are going to get from the requirement gathering phase is high-level requirement document. This requirement document only we are going to call it with different names basically. BRD, and then BD, SRS, RST, like this, so many names, business requirement document, business document, system requirement specification document, or requirement specification document. With so many names we are going to call. All those names are going to tell us same thing. The document having all the requirements collected from our client, the client expectation. We are going to clearly note it down within the document. Why it is going to be called as high-level requirement document? Anyway, we are collecting all the requirements from our client. Already senior architect also there. This guy already explained whether it is possible or not. Then why we are calling it as high-level requirements only? High-level requirement document only, because these are the people not going to work on an actual development and testing most of the times. These are the people just collecting the requirements only. These people may not work in the real time, in the actual project sometimes. Especially business analyst, they are not at all going to involve in development and testing. Project manager, they are going to take care of the activities, but they are not going to develop the application. Even senior architect also, they are going to design the application, how to develop all those things, but actually they are not going to write the code and all most of the times. Who is going to write the code and who is going to test the application? Most of the time, junior developers and mid-level engineers, they are going to actually work on this particular development and testing process. But during the first meeting, we haven't involved any of the developers, any of the testing members, right? That's the reason until we are going to share this requirement document with actual people who is going to work in this particular project, and until we are going to collect the opinion from the people who is going to actually work on this particular project, we are not at all going to confirm this requirement document as a final requirement document, because senior architect is going to explain us on high level only whether this is possible and this is not possible, all those things. But once we are going to talk to actual developer who is going to write the code, actual tester who is going to test the application, then only we are going to get full clarity whether it is possible to complete within 3 months or not, whether these many features requested by client are implementable or not. All those things we are going to get to know only when we are going to talk to actual people who is going to work on this project. That's the reason until then we are going to call it as it's a high level requirement document only. We are not at all going to give any commitment to our client until we are going to share it with our team members. That's the reason we are calling it as high level requirement document. So once we are going to get the high level requirement document during the requirement gathering phase, now we are going to share it with all the team members, meaning all the junior developers, senior developers, testing team members, with everyone who is going to work in this particular project. Each and every person is going to receive this requirement document actually. So then the second phase is going to start. That is requirement analysis. What is this requirement analysis? So whatever the requirement document prepared by business analyst with all the requirements provided by our client. Now we are going to set up the meeting. Here we meaning basically business analyst is going to set up the meeting. And then within the meeting, they are going to invite each and every team member, developers, testers, support engineers, IT engineers, everyone they are going to invite in this meeting. This is what the first meeting that we are going to have, project kickoff meeting basically. To start the project, to explain about the new work that we have got from different clients. So business analyst is going to set up this meeting and they are going to explain about each and every detail they have collected from our clients and what exactly the expectation from our client, what application needs to be developed, and what is the background of this particular project, how currently client is doing the work, and what exactly the change they are expecting after building this particular application. What are all the customers, he is expecting, to use this particular application. And what are all the different timelines they are expecting to complete this particular project. Everything they are going to explain in detail during this requirement analysis meeting. And then they are going to collect the opinions from each and every team member, because there are so many people are going to involve in this meeting. Each and every person is going to analyze this particular requirement document in their perspective. So tester, if I'm going to involve in this meeting, I'll ask so many questions. What features I need to verify? With how many users I have to verify? Who is going to provide test data to verify? Who is going to provide me the validations? Whenever I'm going to struck somewhere, who is going to help us? And what are all the different technologies I have to use to automate, whether automation is required or not? These many questions I'm going to ask as a software tester. Same thing with the developer. These many features they are asking, but they are giving only 3 months. This is not at all possible. Instead, we can implement in different way. This is the best solution. Like this, everyone is going to explain. Everyone is going to talk about this particular project in their perspective with their experience. So business analyst is going to note it down each and every point. Each and every doubt team is asking, they are going to clearly note it down. If business analyst can be able to answer those questions, immediately they can explain. So this is what client is expecting. This is what the background of this particular project. This is how we can proceed further like this. Let's say some questions even business analyst also not having any answer. So they are going to note it down all these things here. Later, again, they are going to reach out our client. And they are going to talk to our client and say, see, team members are asking these many questions, and there are some of the features that you are requesting for not at all possible to implement because of so and so technical complication. Instead, there are some alternatives team suggested. So these are all the alternate solutions we have. So is it okay to proceed further with these alternate solutions, or do you want same feature only? So these kind of negotiations will happen after the project kickoff meeting, because Now already each and every team member know about this particular project. They have asked so many questions, clarifications. Now it's business analyst responsibility to clear all those. Same thing, negotiate all those things with our client also required. If client agrees with whatever the negotiations that we are going to ask for, or if our project team agrees with whatever client is requesting for, then only we are going to proceed further in terms of software development. Until then, we are going to hold the project here only. These discussions will happen back and forth multiple times. And finally, we are going to came to one common agreement. Okay, these many features with these many timelines, with this much of budget, we can go ahead like this. Once our client is going to provide sign off meaning approval. Generally, whenever we want to write any agreement, whenever you are going to purchase any property, what you are going to do, you are going to take sale deed and you are going to write the agreement. Both the parties going to sign, like, I'm selling this product and I'm buying this product like this, all those details clearly they are going to mention and they are going to sign, correct? Same way, what business analyst is going to do is once client agrees with, so and so features, they are going to send an email in a proper format, or they are going to proceed in, some Confluence tool or something. Within the tool, they are going to mention each and every person. Along with that, they are going to include all the major stakeholders and project manager, and they are going to write all the details. So these many features we are agreed to implement, and these are all the timelines. And then these many resources are going to involve all those things they are going to clearly mention, and they are going to ask for approval from our client. If client agrees, they are going to provide yes, approved. I am agreeing with whatever the points that you are explaining in this document is going to provide approval email most of the time, or maybe some other on high level agreements also will happen. Then only we are going to proceed further. Until then, this phase will continue back and forth. Got it? Final outcome that we are going to get by the end of this particular phase is approved requirement document. Still, we haven't started any development process. Still, we are in the discussions only until second stage. We are going to just get the approved final requirement document to proceed further. The people who are going to involve in this particular phase is everyone. Starting from project manager, business analyst, developers, testing team members, architects, everyone going to involve in this particular phase, because we want to understand more about this particular project. We want to plan the activities, how to complete, when to complete, what technology is required, whether it is possible or not. All those discussions will happen. And finally, we are going to set up one common goal, and then we are going to get the approval for the same from our client. And finally, we are going to prepare approved requirement document. Then actual project is going to begin from here. The next stage that is going to happen is design phase. So what is design phase? What we are going to do during the design phase, all those things we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, guys? So till this part, if you have any doubts, please go ahead. Now you can ask whatever the doubts you have, guys. Everyone is clear how project is going to happen in the organization till this part?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
This is the actual process. Any organization, whether it's a small startup company or very big MNC company, each and every organization going to follow the same procedure. There is no much change. Only size
Yes,
of the
sir.
project. Sorry?
I'm saying this, whatever you told, so like this only happens in our company. Sir.
Yes, any company. Practically, this is what going to happen, guys. Because, from last few years, even I'm also involving whenever new project I used to involve as a senior developer. I know what things, even, initial stages of my career only, I used to involve in this budget related stuff. I used to prepare budget document also based on the resources and based on the amount of work, based on the risks and other stuff, I used to design the budget documents and all other stuff. So this is what is going to happen for the first time when we are going to start the project. Before we are, most of the people, what we used to think is immediately whenever we are going to get the requirement, we are going to start writing the code. We are going to develop the application. We are going to test the application. No, proper planning is very, very important. Without dealing with, all these things directly, if you are going to start development, what will happen is suddenly some technology is not working to develop this particular application, then lot of issues we have to face legally, technically. That's the reason we are not at all going to proceed further unless we are going to get confirmation from different people. From the developer, we are going to take the confirmation. Yes, it is achievable within this timeline. From tester, we are going to take confirmation. Yes, it is achievable and we are able to complete each and every small validation and we will be able to deliver within 3 months like this. From the business analyst, we are going to take the confirmation whether they have collected all the requirements to start our project and everything. Even project manager side, they are going to provide. Yeah, I'm good. From project side, I know budget side and resources side, I'm pretty much well aware, and then I'm good to complete within this. Like this, each and every person at this stage, they are going to provide approval. Then only we are going to start the actual project. Otherwise, the project will be there in the discussions only. Generally, whenever we used to watch this movie related interviews, right? Pre-production and then post-production, in middle the shooting part, then later publicity part. How exactly they used to do? Same thing is going to happen here also. If I want to make Bahubali kind of movie, definitely so much of planning is required, at least 1.5 year to 2 years. Rajamouli used to tell us, right? Pre-production work is going on like that. That is what is going to happen in the project also, because project is not a simple thing. Crores of rupees, millions of rupee money, lot of people effort, and years it is going to continue. So just like that, we cannot proceed further. We are going to take care of so many things before we are going to start the actual work. That is what it is. Got it? That's all for today, guys. If you have any doubts, please go ahead. Otherwise, I'm good for the day.
Sir, like you said, some budget related. So right now, I am not doing anything like that. But in case in future, they ask me that you have team
Yeah,
of
based on your
two
seniority
testers.
and other stuff, definitely, they are going to involve in all those things for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sir, if they ask me, you have team of 2 testers under yourself for this particular project. So, means how to decide that how many months will be required or how many sprints will be required and how much cost. So, how to decide this?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely you are going to get the chance. Okay. Slowly, I mean, based on your experience and other stuff. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions?
Okay.
Anyone? No questions.
No customers.
Good to live then. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
See you tomorrow. Same time, 9:25 only, not 9:30. Okay. By 9:25, please join. So first 5 minutes, we'll try to revise the things that we discussed today. And then, sharp 9:30 we'll start. Today is just a first day, right? And most of the people, join little late. That's the reason, we started with introduction and other stuff. But sharp 9:30, it is going to start from tomorrow. Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Good night.